What up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Speak On It. And it's the three guys here, Biv, Dom, Tim One, and we got a special edition. It's probably gonna get a little deep. You know what I'm saying?
So,
We gonna rub some people the wrong way. I know I am. Um, but one topic tonight. We're talking about the NBA 75th team.
Whoa. We gotta have two topics.
What's that? What's the other
We
one?
have to talk about Juwan Howard before we get crazy. Gotta talk about it, but it's gonna stay basketball. But we
You know
gotta talk
what?
about that.
I ain't got no issue with that one either. I ain't got no issue
start
with
with
that one either. I ain't got no issue with that one either. We can get with let's get to that then, Don. Go ahead then with Jawan
Hey,
Howard.
listen,
First of all,
listen.
all right. So first of all, hold on before we get into this.
hey, don't disappear. Where you go?
Hold-
I was like, what happened?
Before we get into this, Juwan Howard, they were on the road, right, at Wisconsin. They got smacked, which kind of was the norm this year. And I am a Michigan fan, if you don't know. But they got smacked, and I'm not really sure what happened at the end. Apparently, somebody called a timeout that Juwan was a little upset about, and he was heated going through the line as they were shaking hands, and somebody touched him, apparently. And I'm not sure if he even mushed the person that touched him from what I seen. Okay, but he mushed somebody, you know what I mean? People said it was a swing. It was kind of a swing, but if he wanted to punch his face off, he could have, but he chose not to. So I'm going to say he mushed the man versus he swung on him. But that's it. If the regular season was 15 games, he would have got suspended 15 games. But the regular season was 5 games, so he only got suspended 5 games because he was got suspended for the rest of the regular season. But it just happened to be 5 games.
So
Straight up.
Wisconsin got smacked. Wisconsin smacked Michigan, and Michigan head coach smacked Wisconsin coach. So when I first seen it, right, so my reaction was like, it has to be like he had to have said something crazy to Juwan Howard, because like my years of just watching Juwan Howard, even when he was a assistant with the Heat, he played with the Heat, was assistant with the Heat. He just
Man, even before that, he was the calm one of the Fan Five.
Right.
Like he was the level-headed one of the Fan Five. Like, so
He was the old head.
Yeah, like it was just unexpected of him. So I feel you, but go ahead, continue.
It's just like you said, it's unexpected. So to me, when I watch it, it's like, man, he had to say something to piss Juwan Howard off. Like for him, like for me, I'm real laid back, real chill, real mellow. If to get me to a point where I probably want to slap you in a line, like you had to say something real crazy to me. Like you had to probably like say something about my kids, like even that's pushing it, but like you had to say something real disrespectful to me in order for me to get to like I feel like Tim One, like you real laid back, you real mellow, you real chill. Like nobody gonna push your buttons to that level to where you like you gonna slap somebody in the
on
middle
national TV
in the middle of a line on national TV, right? Like for me, it had to be something that was said to him that was real disrespectful in order for him to, or maybe he just got tired of getting his behind with this shit. I don't know, but
so when I seen the clip, I was like, really, Juwan Howard? Like I really had to look into it because it surprised me, and I think that it was something that was said. It has to be from the assistant coach. Like he was already pissed at the fact that y'all are up 13 and y'all call a timeout with 4 seconds left. And then the Wisconsin coach was saying that he did it because he wanted to reset the 10-second clock because they was playing press and it was down to like a few seconds or whatever. So that's why he called timeout, bro. you up by 13. Like 4 seconds to go. Like I've seen what Reggie did, but that was that's not happening right here in this moment. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Juwan Howard was already pissed about that, and I think the assistant coach said something to either him or one of his players, and it got to the point to where, like, you even seen the dude that he hit. My man was like, yo, he hit me. Like, yo, that's one of those, like, trying to provoke, you know what I mean? Like, you say something and hide your hand type deals. And then once it happens, it was like, yo, y'all see that? Like, he ain't who y'all think he is. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, the only people that know what was said was in that group, and that it's not going to come out. It don't need to come out. It is what it is. But in my opinion, for somebody to take Juwan Howard out of anybody of that Fab Five, they had to say something very disrespectful. Very disrespectful.
So, question I got for y'all, right, is because it was said after the show on several media outlets, or after the game on several media outlets, that no matter what, coaches can't react like that no matter what, because they're the leader, because they are the head of a franchise. So I would ask y'all, and the reason that they said that is because they were saying that they should do away with the shaking of the hands after a game completely, because you and
one incident, man.
No. So listen, I kind of understood what they were saying, because in the heat of a battle, like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, I played in 2 championship games. I lost one. I lost one. I won one. Man, the one I lost. Now listen, I was young, y'all. I walked right out the court before the game was over. Like, it was in the heat of a battle. Like, I walked right off the court in the middle of the game. Probably like 30 seconds left. Took my jersey off, threw that thing, and walked off and walked like in the heat of a battle. So I get it. Now, it's not right. I'm not saying it's right. It was right what I did, but I get it, man. You in the heat of battle. You put in a lot of hard work to get to that point. And just it's a lot of emotions running. When you in the midst of that game, blood, sweat, and tears, and you're like, dang, like, this is it, like, it's over. Like, I don't want to go shake your hand. Like, I get it. It's a respect thing, but like, in the midst, right after the game, I don't want to talk to you after the game. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want to talk to you after the game.
I think that it should just be the head coaches if you want to change it up, because at the end of the day, like, we're talking about college students, high school, and all that. Like, we know with the NBA, like, these dudes exchanging jerseys after wins and losses and all of that. You know what I mean? Even in football as well, because it's a mutual respect. It's a brotherhood. But when you're on those levels of high school, junior high, whatever the case may be, it's a lot of emotions involved. You know what I mean? And the only ones that should have the cooler heads would be the coaches. So, I mean, if you beat me for square, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I shake your hand as a man, because we out here trying to win. If you out coach me, respect. You know what I mean? Might come to you, yo, what is it that you've seen? You know what I mean? That you capitalize on. Maybe you won't tell me, maybe you will. You know what I mean? But just out of respect of the competition, that, like, we both trying to win. If you beat me at my game, okay, cool. You got this one. So that means I need to prepare harder for the next one as a coach. Now, as far as the players have more emotions into it, you know what I mean? Because they're the ones out there. You know what I mean? They're the ones getting the fouls called. They're the ones that's diving on the floor. All of that is concerned. So, of course, the more level-headed people would be the coaches, because, you know, you're going to win or lose regardless. You know what I mean? So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is the point of win. But when you're in the same profession, I mean, shake that man's hand. In the heat of the battle, okay, we get it. But if you beat me fair and square and it wasn't no controversy or no ticky-tack stuff like that, shake my hand. But my man at Wisconsin, yo, he's bugging with the timeout. Like that to me, I'd have been like, all right, yo, I'll holler at you, man. You got that. We'll see you in the Big Ten tournament. You know what I mean? That would have been one of mine, because it's like, yo, you really pushing buttons right now, and you really trying to take me there for no apparent reason. I don't understand why. Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? So, and then try to say like it wasn't what it was. Like, come on now, bro. You called a timeout with 4 seconds to go up by 13, and you're gonna say it's because you wanted the 10-second half court to reset. Are you serious? So, I mean, what was the spread on that game? How about that? So, are we playing that game? So, that's my thoughts on it. What's your thoughts, babe?
Somebody who played and coached, y'all.
This, for me, the reason why I would say everybody shake hands is because those are teachable moments.
I get that.
One of the things that I always say to the boys, football, basketball, is you can be angry, you can be upset. Nothing's wrong with that. But becoming mature and better is learning how to control yourself when you're dealing with those types of emotions. So in a loss, you're heated, you're frustrated. This was just Saturday, bro. I just went through this Saturday. You know what I mean? We up in Dover for the conference championship, and you know the boys watched a lot of our fans, and they left as if the game was over. You know what I'm saying? And then we made a run. And we made it a game, and we had an opportunity to at least tie the game, and we squandered it. And the boys were very emotional after the game. And you got to sit there on the court, and you got to watch the other team celebrate. Like you get your medals, and then you got to watch the other team get their medals. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a teachable moment, but it's also a moment, especially and then really in any level, like Stephon Diggs. Remember, you don't want to be in this moment again. You don't want to be here watching somebody else soak this up, and remember that you don't ever want to be in this position again. And the next time, you will give everything you got to not feel like this again. So for me, you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, it's a teachable moment. Like, Dom, I'm pretty sure you're not the only person that ever walked off on the court like that. You feel me? It was better that than swinging on somebody. I can respect that. You know what I mean? But get yourself together. Go shake their hand. That's what I would have said as a coach. Get yourself together. Ain't nobody begging you. And if you want to go shake their hand, go shake their hand. But if you don't, go to the locker room. I ain't got no issue with it. Now, if you go through this line, you're going to shake their hands. But if you don't want to shake their hands, go sit down somewhere. Ain't no problem. Have no issue with it. Because I don't feel like you should be forced to do anything. I'm not going to force no kid to apologize. Because if it ain't genuine, why do it? That's just my feeling. But with the Wisconsin coach, I feel like he probably said something disrespectful to Juwan to get him out of character.
Yeah.
That's not Juwan Howard character. So something happened, something transpired, but I don't know what it was, what it could be. I'm not going to speculate. You know what I mean? Not going to speculate, but and I don't even know Juwan. I'm just speaking from a person that's seeing from a distance. You feel me? I'm just speaking from a distance. I don't know Juwan. Like,
he could be a wild boy behind the scenes.
But from a distance, he seems like a guy that he don't carry himself and react like that. And you know what I mean? And I've seen him heated in the NBA. I've seen him heated in college. Yeah. But I ain't never seen him go to strike on nobody. You know, go to strike nobody. So, you know what I mean? But
can y'all recover?
Recover from
this situation? Will he come back stronger next year?
Yeah.
I think this season has really been an eye opener to a lot of people on that team. You know what I mean? Some of those guys that were highly recruited, maybe you're not as good. I think Calipari went through some situations like this. And now look at what Kentucky's doing, where those guys were stayed a year or two to develop. You know what I mean? So I think it's if those guys take it as that and don't just go ahead and jump off to the NBA. Not saying that they're not ready, but if they take it as that and they say, you know what, I want to take another year, make sure I'm ready for the next level, I think they'll be fine. But I still think Juwan, the real story of this will be throughout recruiting circles.
Yeah.
The real story of this will be throughout recruiting circles. So if Juwan for some reason was defending a player or something like that, he's fine.
Yeah.
But if if it was something crazy, like he would just swing on that man for nothing, he might be in some trouble.
Might be some crazy.
So
I agree. All right, let's get to the nitty-gritties, man.
All right. So I've been wanting to get this off my chest for a minute.
Get it off your chest.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I gotta go through some old notes. Just based off what you said, I gotta go through some old past shows.
Hold up. I've been wanting to get this off my chest for a minute since the revealing of the 75, because my timeline was going nuts. It was going nuts, and I was like, "Y'all really mad that Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady didn't make the 75?" That was my reaction. Like, y'all really mad? Them two guys? I'm like, for both of them, just being real, just for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, to somebody, winning mattered. It mattered.
Oh man, you can't say
Hey,
that.
listen, I'm about to dive into this.
Hold on. There's no other reason to keep Tracy McGrady out.
What other reason
is there to keep Mac out?
I give you that one.
Come on.
I can say
He shouldn't be.
What? There's
but it's a team sport, though.
No, it's not.
It's a team sport.
Hold on.
A lot of politics.
Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. I am not saying that they shouldn't be in.
I got you.
That is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is I'm not shocked, because at some point to somebody, winning mattered, which is why I always said Tracy McGrady, as much as I love Matt to mine, Matt was my guy. I went to bat. Matt was better than Kobe for years.
All right.
But I had to fall back. You know why? Because he wasn't winning. Injuries or not, whatever the reason may be, he wasn't winning. Yes, him and Yao never was healthy at the same time, and when they did, they still didn't win. I get it. Grant Hill was never healthy in Orlando. I get it. But he was up 3-1, and he didn't win.
Dang. Listen.
I'm just saying, bro. And I'm just getting started, because y'all don't even want me to get into Vince Carter.
Listen, I thought you was going another way. I had to pull up past shows. I was like,
Mac is my God. The only reason you can not Mac from not being in 75 is because he didn't win. He didn't lead his team deep into the playoffs, even by himself.
So
that's the only thing you can hold it against him.
Let me ask you this question then.
What's up?
Name 3 to 4 snubs from the 75 list.
Name 3 to 4 snubs. I can name.
Oh, he got a lot more.
Huh? I got several, but I can give you 3 or 4 right off the top. I can give you Manu, Tony, Powell, and Dwight off the top, bro.
I heard Tony.
Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Pau Gasol, and Dwight Howard off the top.
I ain't going that way. I ain't going none of them.
I would say Dwight. I definitely say Dwight.
I ain't going Manu. I ain't going Tony.
Tony Parker's a Finals MVP.
I get it. He's a Finals MVP. However, so is Kawhi Leonard.
And he's in.
So is Iggy. He's the Finals MVP.
No.
Tony Parker had.
Come on, man. Don't disrespect Tony Parker with Iggy, man. Don't disrespect Tony Parker. You did. You just brought him up, man.
But you say he was a Finals MVP. Like, that was a criteria. But I'm not disrespecting Tony, because I don't think Tony and Manu, as great as they are, they're not even mentioned because of Tim Duncan. Like Tim Duncan was the engine behind that whole thing. So that's why I can't bring Tony and Manu into it, because I feel as though that they were second and they never had to carry a franchise. Never.
Okay, then we did, but hold on. Time out, T-Mart. There's a lot of guys that were co-stars that are in that didn't have to do that.
I agree.
Because I can make that same argument about Scottie Pippen.
No, okay, so no. So that's what I'm gonna say. I don't think like Chris Middleton to me. I think Chris Middleton is a co-star, but I don't think Chris Middleton is. I don't think Chris Middleton is like. He's never going to be regarded as a star. Like, he's never going to be regarded as like an all-time great, in my opinion. And I think, in anybody's opinion, he's never going to be mentioned in an all-time great conversation. I don't think Tony Parker. Like, when you start thinking about, and we did this. Listen, we can go back to the shows. Like, we did our top 10 point guard list. I know we've had Tony on the list, but it was like 8, 9, 10 on some people's list. He wasn't even on the list. Like, he's not even the top 5, top 6 point guard player his position.
Tony Parker or Joe Dumars?
I'm not going. I don't want to go down that. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I'm gonna just say it like this, because I'm just gonna do it to the guys that are already
that are on the list.
That are on the list. One.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And same position.
Okay.
I every day of the week, give me Tony Parker over Dame Lillard.
Oh my!
Every day of the week.
I can't do it.
Every day of the week.
Do it.
Every day of the week.
Yo, had to carry a franchise. Like,
no,
he never had to.
He never had. Right.
He never had to. That doesn't mean that he couldn't.
I don't know if he could.
I don't think
my point exactly. You don't. Why? Because you never seen him do it. That doesn't mean that he couldn't. I'm not basing it off of none of that. I'm basing it off of what I seen him do with what he did. That's it. I'm not getting ready to get. I can't get into hypotheticals. I can't get into hypotheticals.
Even with that though, I would still put Dame over him.
Dame over him.
Why? Because you've seen Dame carry a franchise, right?
No. I said take that out. What? Just looking at not even numbers. Just player for player.
Just player for player. Okay, yeah. Y'all like flashy. I like fundamental. That's no problem.
No,
you're a coach. You're a coach.
What you mean? There's nothing fundamental about Dame. Nothing.
You're a coach.
Fundamental about Dame.
Dame was a top 10 scorer. He's a top 10 assist guy. Like, he is.
That has nothing to do with fundamentals.
Listen, so what makes Tony Parker more fundamentally sound than Dame Lillard? In my opinion, I don't know. Other than he had Tim Duncan, who was the greatest fundamentally sound.
All right. If we're gonna sit here, we're gonna pick apart people's resumes based upon who they played with. Then we're gonna pick apart everybody.
No,
that's not fair. That's not fair because nobody says that about Magic, that he played majority of his career with Kareem. Nobody disrespects it. What? But we've seen him do what? Win, right? We've seen Tony Parker win. We've seen Tony Parker give every point guard every night he was playing in the toughest position in the league, and he held his own. But everybody takes it from him because he was playing with Tim Duncan.
I have to.
Tim Duncan's not guarding the best point guard on the other team.
He's not. But listen, we acting like the best point guard on the other team wasn't giving Tony Parker work either. The reason that Tony Parker
so KG and Dirk, they wasn't doing nothing against Tim Duncan.
No, right? they was putting in work too.
Again,
so this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Tony Parker, Tim Duncan was the reason that they won games. Let's be real. He's the reason that they won games. Because if I'm not mistaken, Tony Parker was still there after Tim Duncan retired, and he wasn't winning games. He wasn't winning championships with Kawhi Leonard. He was actually the reason Kawhi Leonard won it out. So now Tony Parker at the end of his career, he's not who he used to be now. Now he's trash with Kawhi Leonard.
but he was doing his
I'm
thing
not saying
with
not
Tim
trash.
Duncan.
Oh,
Tim
man.
Duncan wasn't like Tim Duncan was himself
I'm
at
not
the
taking
end of
over
his
Dame.
career either.
I'm just
Duncan-
saying, skill.
Duncan
Me
actually-
personally,
Okay, again, I'm
saying,
not arguing that. If you take him, if you take Dame, I have no argument against that.
I got you. Okay.
I'm just saying,
Dame's my
skill
guy.
for skill, check for check. If we playing 1-on-1, forget the team element, all of that. I'll pick Dame over Tony. That's
Dame.
And I'll take Tony.
that's just my personal.
I'll take Tony.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I got you. Listen, Tony is a beast. I can't take him over Dame, and it's a lot of things that factor into that. I play into that. Yeah, I'm not taking him over Dame. I'm not taking Tony over
one of the things that
from his air.
One of the things that, like, looking at the list that kind of gets me is the fact that it's a lot of guys from like the first generation that like stay on there that are staples. And to me, it's almost like what makes them stand out. Like when I look at Lenny Wilkins, right? Lenny Wilkins is a great player. But I'm thinking, like, if we're just talking overall 75, I would put Dwight over him. I would put T-Mac over him. Why is he continuing to stay on the list? Is it because
of what he did when he did it? Like
you
gotta pay homage. You gotta pay homage to those guys with what those guys did at that time, bro. Like, come on, man. Like Bob Cousy would get smoked.
You know me, of all people, can pay homage of people as far as that era is concerned. So I understand the no 3-point and all of that. You know what I mean? But just looking at,
I'm not taking him off.
I'm taking him off. I can pay homage.
How?
Right? I can pay homage.
That's just one that bothered me, especially when I'm looking at Dwight Howard, and I'm like,
bro, you can't take dudes off.
You have
because
to,
no way, bro. No way you can justify.
They did this in 20. They did what 20? They did almost 20. They did almost 30 years ago. Since they did this, there have been better players who have come along that has surpassed those players. It just is what it is. It's just real. It's just factual. Like you said, Lenny Wilkins. I get what he did for the game. However, there are better point guards that have come along. Like I'm looking at the list.
But that's not what the list is about, fellas. That's not what the list is about.
The list is the greatest, the best.
That's not the list. Is the 75. It's the 75th anniversary team, fellas. It is not the top 75 players of all time list. That's not what the list is.
I get it though. I get it. It's just when I look at it just overall, and I understand the dynamic of the eras and whatnot, and he was one of the best in this era. Like, to me, and not saying I ain't got no love for the man or whatnot as far as the Dwight is concerned, because he's got some antics out of this world. But his run, bro, I'm bless you. That one boggles me. Him and T-Mac boggles me. And maybe it's because I guess the 25 that came after, you know what I mean? But that, and I'm like, there has to be some type of adjustment or something.
And what's the criteria? Because listen, if we're talking about the anniversary of the 75th, okay, so, and to me, it has
that's
to
what the Hall of Fame is for.
It has to be the best 75 because they had honorable mentions. You know what I mean? So like they had Clay at 77. What's the criteria? Because if I'm looking at a list, I'm taking Clay over a couple people on this list. If we're talking about fundamentals, if we're talking about a two-way player, if we're talking about winning, if we're talking about all these things, and we're talking about a co-star,
why can't
they got three of them things.
But you can't take off the guys from.
I have to, man.
You can't. How can you put a 75th anniversary team and then disregard the guys from the first 25 years?
I get the concept.
It doesn't make sense
because they put 25.
I get the concept because it's the evolution of the game and the next 25 up, right? But even in his era, is his impact greater than what Dwight's was in his era or T-Mac's in his era?
Who?
Ben Wallace.
Lenny Wilkins.
Listen,
as a basketball player, not a coach.
Bro. Why are y'all arguing the old heads? Like, you should be arguing the dudes that don't have no business being on here. Like, they don't have no business being on this list.
I am arguing the people who got no business being on the list. The
old heads, like, I don't.
No, that's just one of my arguments. Like, I would take Dame off and put Dwight.
The old heads deserve to be on this list for what they did during their time. It's the 75th anniversary. The annual. That's years. Like, that means from the beginning. Like, you can't take off the guys that paved the road off the team. That doesn't make sense.
I just said one. It's not the 70. It's not the 75th anniversary of those players. It's the 75th anniversary of the history of the game. So for me, it's about honoring those 75 players who actually put in work. There are more players than I got a bunch of them because
I ain't got a bunch. It's one.
It's the history. It's the history of the game. That's what we honored when they did it the first time. It was about honoring the 50 years of the 50-year anniversary and the 50 greatest players at the time. So now when they do it, you have to switch it up because there have been better players than there was back then when they did it back in '96.
I just said one.
Man, listen. So
I ain't say Bob Cousy. I could have said Bob Cousy and Bob Pettit, all them.
Man, there's a whole bunch of them dudes, man. If you start ranking the 75 best players, there's a whole bunch of them dudes from back then that's not going to be on there. I agree with y'all, but I do not think that this is what this team is about. This team is not about the 75 best. I agree with y'all. I would take Bob Cousy to me probably in the top 50 point guard of all time. Let's just be real.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Let's just be real. I'm just being real, man. Like he would get smoked, man. Like I get it, fellas. But with this team, they gotta pay. They gotta pay homage to them. They have to. They have to switch it up, man. Bruh. They not.
Switch up in 25 years. They gotta switch it up.
They not.
Like you can't keep.
They're not. Okay. In 25 years, you will see a whole bunch of pictures because there's gonna be a whole bunch of guys that's gone.
Random.
I guarantee.
Random question. On this 75 list of the old heads, we're talking about from 90s back. 5 guys that could play in this era right now.
5 guys that could play in this era.
From the 90s?
From the 90s back.
I mean, I feel like that's super easy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I can name a lot of guys.
You got Larry. You got Mike.
You're talking about from 19. Okay, I'm gonna make it harder than 70s.
I'm talking about 1990
and back, or
70s and back. Probably none of them. Let's be real. Probably none of them.
I think Oscar can play in this era.
I think Oscar, Iceman.
I think
Wilt.
What is Wilt gonna do in this league today?
What you mean?
Yo, bro, he's gonna be Rudy Gobert.
And Rudy Gobert is playing in this era today. Like, he's playing in this era. But this is why I say.
They would misuse Wilt. They would not even attempt to try to make him a post player. They'd be having him doing crazy stuff, bro. They'd be trying to make him do weird stuff. Yeah, man, they wouldn't even utilize him right, man. I don't even want to think about that.
But I think he can. I think you can put you can play him like they play Sabonis, where they play him at that wing. They run the offense through him, and they run the offense through him. And he can average. I think he can average 7-8 assists a game in this era.
Wilt.
Do
I think Wilt could play in this league? Yes, but he's not going to be himself because they're not going to allow him to be himself these days.
I agree. He's not going to be as dominant as low post scorer because in this game you need a jumper. Like, you're just not going to bang on people. So I agree with you on that.
Ain't not going to let him be himself. So
there really isn't any.
You know what I mean? And that's really the only thing because they could. It wasn't like the ball skill wasn't good. It's just that the game has changed. So now these guys They wouldn't. Some of these guys wouldn't last. Now, the smaller dudes, they just wasn't as athletic as these guys are, and their ball handling, man, they would just get it taken from them. Like let's just be real.
So let me ask you this.
Hey, not Zeke though. I think Isaiah Thomas.
But we are. What you said, you went 70s. You went 70s. You went back to the 70s, though. You went back to the 70s.
Listen, I gave you 3 from the 70s.
Dr. J could play.
Dr. J.
Yeah. I think Doctor can play. You think Willis?
David Thompson.
Willis Reed.
David Thompson could go. Earl the Pearl.
Yeah, Earl the Pearl, definitely.
Pistol.
Definitely. Yep.
Elgin.
Oh, jeez.
It's a lot of them. I think Jerry would have held his own.
I think Jerry would have.
I think Jerry would have held his own.
Jerry would have got smoked.
I think Jerry could have been every bit of JJ Redick in this league.
Okay.
I was gonna say Grayson Allen.
JJ Redick. Okay. All right. Grayson Allen.
Everything could have been every bit of that. I think
I got it.
I think Bill Russell could be every bit of Draymond Green in this league.
Who?
Draymond
Green.
Draymond.
Okay.
Draymond's a pest. He just doesn't have that length that Bill has. And
but I don't think Bill can guard 1 through 5.
I think he could, man. I think Bill was a little more athletic than people give him credit for. He contended with Wilt, man. He couldn't stop the big. He couldn't stop the big locomotive, of course, but he contended with him, man. Every bit of athletic was every bit as athletic. Man, from what I see,
he can guard 1 to 5. This is what looking at the list. Okay, so we're gonna go back to some of the new people, right? Somebody know this your man.
AD don't belong on the list either, man. Let's say it. Go ahead and say it.
No. There's the other one.
I ain't gonna say him yet. I'm gonna get to him though. Like Melo versus T Mac.
Nah, that's Melo every day.
No, because listen.
He said no.
Because listen, if we're talking about a window, because I think T Mac gets judged off of like a totality of his career when he was injured like that. But we're talking about a window from like 99 to like 2006 when T Mac was like at his peak. There was nobody in the league like that could check. There was nobody in the league that can check this man. There was nobody in the league like.
Bro, they knew that and they kept him off.
Listen, I know. I think it's politics, which a lot of it's politics.
If it's politics, Carmelo Anthony would not be on this list.
At some point in time, I'm telling you, at some point in time, voters said, you know what, winning has to matter.
What has Melo won?
Okay, listen, wait a minute.
He was at least carrying his team deep into the playoffs.
He won 3 gold medals.
So I ain't worried about it. I ain't talking.
You asked what he won.
That's what they supposed to do.
That's what they supposed to do. Hold up, though. So, to Dwayne's logic, if we're talking about the 50 that was already on there plus 25, you telling me that Melo's not in the top 25 of the era after that?
No, I wholeheartedly think that he is. But I'm saying if we're talking, that was just a comparison.
But
right?
that's okay. I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying, when we're talking about Melo, what's the difference between Melo and Tracy McGrady? When I start looking at the numbers, when I start looking at the accolades, Melo, okay, he's a 11-time, I think, All-Star. T-Mac is a 7-time All-Star. Like he's a 7-time All NBA player.
Did you compare their playoff record?
No.
You did everything but that research.
Okay.
You did everything but that research. I am telling you that is the only argument that they are gonna make against T-Mac. That is the only one that you can make against him, because, like you said, he was at one point to some people the measuring stick.
Yep.
He was the measuring stick. At one point, there wasn't any doubt. He was the best scorer in the NBA for a period. Let's just keep it a bean. Like the only thing the man didn't do was win in the playoffs. That was it. That's the only argument that you can make.
It wasn't for lack of trying.
No, it wasn't. He gave it his all. He played hurt.
Listen, even in that Orlando series, he was up 3-1. And again, I know a lot of people. That's the glaring one when everybody talk about T-Mac. I think it's a lot of people. But the glaring one when he was up 3-1, he had nobody else on that team. He shouldn't even been up 3-1.
I was the hugest T-Mac fan you can find, bro. I am with you. He had nobody. He had no help. But bro, he gotta get one of those last 3. He got to.
So Kobe was up 3-1. He ain't get one of those last 3.
Bruh. See, but you talk about a dude that's already won 3 already.
I get it. I'm just saying, Kobe.
He's just
Kobe
trying to
He already won 3 already, though.
Kobe has also been up 3-1 and lost 3-1.
But he already won. I
get it.
3
he was already penciled. He already penciled in.
Man, he was in.
Who was on that Raptors team?
Which Raptors team?
Oh, not the Raptors.
The Magic team.
The best player beside him was Mike Miller.
In that 9-9? Yeah.
When he was in Orlando, that was it. Mike Miller was the best player beside him because Grant Hill was hurt.
Lindsey Hunter was like his second best player. Like
man,
CJ Armstrong was on that joint. Like
there wasn't. The team wasn't.
Me and you
good.
was up there, and Doc Rivers would have been fired. I think he actually did get fired from that Magic team. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought Doc Rivers was the trashiest coach ever after that series. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he was so doo-doo after that series. I don't even know how he got hired in Boston.
Detroit had the T-Mac rules, man. It was like, nah, we ain't having no more of this one-man band beating us and stuff. We're not going through this again. We're not going through this again.
Lindsey Hunter, you gotta score. You gotta go score, Lindsey Hunter. Like,
but
yeah, listen, it's so many. Listen, this list is
hold on.
Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead.
I can say, since you brought him up, how Anthony Davis get on this list?
I don't know. I have no clue how he got on that. That's a LeBron. That's a LeBron lookout. That's a LeBron lookout.
That's like, yo,
we gotta get.
Okay.
We gotta look out for LeBron, man.
If we were to go back when we first started this, Anthony Davis was legit, arguably the best big man in the league.
Listen,
right or wrong?
That's about 10 years.
And that was not 10, just 10 years ago.
Okay.
He had that spot for a few years.
Okay.
Listen. Okay, so when
Tracy McGrady was regarded as maybe the best player in the league for a period, bro.
7-year period.
LeBron, this is without LeBron, AD still be getting smacked around in the first round. Like
he was still an All-NBA player.
So was T-Mac.
He was.
All-NBA player.
He was.
Two-time NBA scorer.
This is helping me make my argument that only reason T-Mac not on there is because they valued winning. They valued it. They had to. It had to matter to him. It had to.
Listen, I'm gonna find somebody on here who ain't a winner, babe.
You can't name nobody on there that has not at least won T-Mac. I think if he got one play, come on, man, he ain't even got one playoff series win.
Yes, he do.
As the dude,
San Antonio.
No, as the dude. I said it as the dude.
Hey, T-Mac never played in the Olympics, did he?
I don't think
you don't want to go over that, man. He was on the teams that was losing in the FIFA World Cups, man. Again, his legacy tarnished.
How Ray Allen on this list, man? How Ray Allen on this list over T-Mac? Championship win?
Yo,
Ray Allen.
I mean, win. I get it.
You think it's wins with Ray?
It's winning, man. Winning it matters. Winning had to matters, man. Winning had to matter. Think about it. I'm just being real. This guy is on there. And T-Mac was trashing at his time. Giving the absolute business to, and they on the list.
And listen, AI said this. He said, there's no way T-Mac, and this is why I say the criteria. I got to figure out what the criteria is because AI.
Paul Pierce is on this list too.
Listen, I listen.
Hold on.
Paul Pierce was giving out work.
Paul Pierce.
I'm not saying what.
Paul Pierce is arguably top 5 of one of the greatest franchises in sports history, bro. He's gonna be on the list.
I'll say this.
I said arguably.
No. I'll say numbers-wise, if we're just going off numbers, he is the greatest Celtic. Not if we're just going off of numbers.
I'm with
you. The greatest Celtic of all time, just going off of numbers. Well, if we're not throwing in Bill Russell, we're not adding Bill Russell in there.
Yeah, they
But
can't throw his
going off
11 in
numbers
there.
wise, he's the greatest.
Why can't we throw his 11 in there, man? That's why
He on a different level.
Because he's the greatest
runner.
Celtic. He's the greatest Celtic then, bro. 11.
He's the greatest of all time.
One of them, he was a player coach. Yeah, bro. Like,
Greatest
case
of all time.
closed. Sustained.
But
He's in
we
the
know
upper room when it comes to the Celtics.
Yeah, he
But
get
I'll
into
say
class by
he's
himself.
I'll say he's top 3. I'd say Paul Pierce is top 3. I won't even say.
Yeah, I'll say top
five.
3.
He's top 3. You got Bill, you got Larry, you got Paul.
No
wouldn't
argument
argue
for
that.
me.
Yeah.
I'll say top 5 because diehard Celtic fans they love their McHale and their
I
Parrish.
get it. Love Kevin McHale, love Robert Parrish. I get it.
You feel me?
I got you.
They love their McHale and their
Yo.
Parrish. All right,
Yo,
and you know what I mean. So
McHale?
that's why I say top 5.
McHale didn't play all year.
McHale
And listen, he's not in the top 5.
in that post.
Bruh.
Whew.
Listen. I think. Then we get into a whole nother conversation, but
Yeah.
I think outside of Hakeem in the post, his footwork. Listen, I think way more people need to go to. The only reason people don't go to Kevin McHale about his post work.
Nah, I ain't gonna say it's that.
Listen,
It's the fact that he can't even do it no more. He can't do it no more, man.
You don't think he can teach post? You don't think he can toast? You don't think he can teach? I don't think Hakeem can still do it, but they'll stop people from going to him.
Man, did you? Okay,
He still be doing it.
Yeah,
He still be
like
doing it.
he shows
It
by action.
Not the way he used to, but he still.
You know what he's talking about versus like Kevin McHale in the front office, bro.
Yeah, Kevin McHale gonna be having somebody else out there demonstrating what he's saying.
Yeah, I got you. Okay,
He's in the front office, so he
Charles
that's
said, Charles Barkley said it's top 5 power forward all the time.
Who? Kevin McHale?
Yeah.
I don't argue against that. I always said if he was held back by Bird. He had to play second fiddle, man. He knew who he was in comparison to Bird. He knew he wanted to win. He could have been if he was able to shine the way he had to split rebounds with the Chief.
Yeah,
and he had to share touches.
Hey,
he had to share touches with everybody.
I tell you what, though, a lot of people. I know he's on TV every Tuesday or every Thursday, and he clowns and all that. But Charles Barkley was a bad. To be 6'5" and play the 4 in the NBA, bro.
But listen,
kudos to him, man. For real.
So we said 6'5", 6'6", right? In that era, he could do it.
No,
this era?
What you mean in that era, bro? At the 4, like the 4 has been 6'8" and up since 6'5" is tall in us regular people life, but in the NBA, that's a 2 guard, yo.
That's a 2 guard. That's a 2 guard. That's a 2 guard in 2000.
He was the same height as Jordan.
That's a point guard in 2022. That's a point guard. But no, and I'm not knocking Barkley. I just don't think.
He played against the McHales.
Yeah, that's why he said Kevin McHale top 5 top 5 all time. He's to give me work.
So you don't think Barkley could play in this era?
No. I don't think he could play. I don't think he could play the 5. I mean the 4 in this era. I think he can play in this era. I just don't think he can play the 4. So well, you know, and I'm sorry.
Everybody's allergic to the post right now.
Hold on. In this era, yeah, Barkley would kill. You know what? Never mind, man. Never mind. I'm like, dog. He played in the tough man. He played in the tough era. I forgot. I'm sorry, y'all. Disregard the last minute of
Hold on. Let me get y'all's opinion on this. Vince Carter. Because there was a lot of people mad about Vince Carter too.
I'm not mad at Vince. I'm not. So listen. Was Vince ever considered the best at his position?
He was one of.
Was he?
I don't think he should have made the team. Period. I don't even think he should have been considered.
I'm not mad at Vince. I'm not mad at Vince being off. I think he should have been considered.
No,
I think he should have been. But listen,
he's got. Okay.
The Saturday night in 2000 alone should put him in that 75.
Thank you. Thank you. That's my exact thing. Give me your Vince Carter moment.
But no,
I
he's
think we talked
he's
about-
one of like a few that has like 25,000 points.
I don't care. No.
He played 22
no.
seasons. Like
No. I don't want to hear nothing about. I don't want to hear nothing about that.
Why?
Let me ask you
Why?
this
His
So
moment.
listen.
His moment is a Saturday night
was
in
a Saturday
February.
night. Well, you know what? I'll say this. I'll give him another moment. He did lose the series, but that battle against AI in 2000, that was a moment. But this is what I'm gonna say. I think the Nets were back-to-back finals, right? They went back-to-back finals without Vince Carter. Vince Carter was supposed to be the missing link, and I don't think they sniffed the finals when they got him. When they got Vince Carter,
that was because Detroit started running the East, and they went to
but
7
but
straight.
Tomato.
Vince Carter was supposed to be the guy, though. Like
Tomato,
Vince Carter
tomato.
was supposed to be the man to help them get
And
over
then-
the hump. Like,
But that same trend continued. Do you realize that?
Hey,
Orlando, they went to the finals. They lost Hedo. They brought in Vince. Dirk and them, they went to the finals. Won. They got Vince.
that was old Dirk.
I don't care, bro.
That was 30 some.
it's the
He was
same.
32.
It's the
care.
same
It's
trend, my
not the
man.
Same trend.
Same trend.
Same
You couldn't get it
trend.
done. Listen, I know you're.
Hey,
I know you're.
I'm
UNC,
no.
I know you're UNC.
Yeah.
guy.
That it ain't even
So you
got
got
nothing to
right-
do
you
with.
got-
No. I'm
Right,
just.
guy.
I mean, like, yeah, he didn't win games. He's a great dunker. He's a good shooting guard. All in all, I'm just me as a fan. Like, just that night alone should put him in the top of the stratosphere because, bro, ain't nothing topped the since.
I see a couple things at top.
Maybe
Whoa.
one man performance. Besides
See,
Jordan.
and
In
like,
88.
hold on, man. And man, like, one thing we're gonna stop doing. One thing we're gonna stop doing is we're gonna stop acting like everybody else in that slam dunk contest wasn't doing their thing as well.
I'm not
Like,
saying
we
that
put
at all.
his performance on this pedestal that it really shouldn't be at.
Why?
Like, he
I feel
put his
should
arm
be.
in the rim.
It
Wow,
should be
what did he
for the moment. It
freaking
should
do?
be for that moment for
Like,
2000.
T-Mac,
Right, in that moment.
T-Mac,
Moment.
yo, T-Mac, Steve Francis, they put on a show as well, but everybody went there to see him, and they gave him that trophy before that dunk contest even started. Bro, you
no.
can say whatever you want to say. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have won. I didn't say that he shouldn't have won, but we act like his performance was a 99 and everybody else was just there.
I'm not
And it
saying
shouldn't
that.
be. Bro, that's how you just said it.
No.
You just said
I'm just
his
saying
night. It was his night, and it should put him in the stratosphere.
So the players, like you said, T-Mac and franchise, if they were on another year, they probably would have won the dunk contest in that 99, 2002 era, right?
Bro, you had
But
that preconceived notion before you went in.
The way he executed that whole night, bro, his whole performance, like
I'm gonna
that.
say this.
Because that's
I'm
what
gonna say this.
everybody was there to see him.
This is what to see him because he was half man, half Nathan. I'm gonna say this. If we're talking about ranking
didn't disappoint.
performances, that night is third. on my all dunk performances.
Well, what's the
It's
first?
third. Zach LaVine's and Aaron Gordon's performance.
Okay.
I'm taking those two performances.
I just said
over
one,
Vince Carter.
like, just because I get the battle. I get the battle. I get the battle.
You keep saying this one man performance.
Because his whole
Tracy
way
McGrady
through.
was,
You're not
yo,
talking about
Tracy
the battle.
McGrady was putting on a show that night, bro. Steve Francis was putting on a show that night, and nobody cared because only person everybody wanted to see was Vince Carter.
Man, half amazing. Listen,
fault.
that night was electric.
Boogie.
He had the night buzzing. But I'm gonna tell you this: that Zach LaVine performance.
No, listen,
that Aaron Gordon
especially
performance.
of what happened this year, man.
I don't even want to get into it.
I can say, listen, bro. I
don't even want to get into that.
See, I ain't even say we need to talk about that.
I don't even want to get into that.
I ain't gonna say nothing about that. But listen, Tracy,
that moment of nostalgia for me.
If we put him at a point guard, if we put him at a 2 guard or a small forward, is he a top 10 in either category?
Probably wouldn't be top 15 in either one.
Should have made the list.
Again, he shouldn't even be considered. Bro, only reason people consider him is because of that night.
Because of that night. I consider
I'm one of those
ones. I consider Hibachi before. Listen, when I was rattling off things, I'm like, dang, Gilbert Arenas. Like, Gilbert Arenas got moments. Like, he got bad moments.
Hey, don't
Baron Davis. I'm like, Baron Davis. He got
Don't
moments.
forget, Gilbert Arenas put 60 on Kobe in LA. That was a moment.
Like,
I'm just saying, man. Like,
but no, I get it. He should be on the list. Like, all jokes aside, you know what I mean? Like, that's just nostalgia back high school. That was a great dunk contest, all in all. You know what I mean?
That was a great dunk contest.
Just it was a lot of jaw dropping moments. Just in like, what in the world is this? Like, because it was never seen back then. Like, if we're talking about now, like Zach LaVine versus Aaron Gordon is comparable to Jordan and Dominique.
You
know what I mean? So
I get it.
But all jokes aside, though, I wouldn't put Vince on this list.
Vince couldn't beat an AI team, an AI Sixers team.
Stop disrespecting the Carolina Blue, bro.
He couldn't beat the AI led Sixers. Like, Eric Snow was the second best man. Like,
but neither could Ray Allen, but he on the list.
That's why I said this is Ray Allen. Ray Allen on this list
because he's second all time in 3-pointers. He got 3 rings.
Okay.
Listen, no knock to Jesus Shuttlesworth, man, but listen, I'm just saying, like, and that Milwaukee team was loaded, like
yeah, Big Dog, Sam Cassell, Tim Thomas.
That team.
Irvin Johnson.
Like, yo, why?
What it was happened? The coach, man, George Karl, trash. George Karl's trash, man.
He hurt Melo's career too.
Oh my God, he hurt Melo's career too. Okay,
all right, we'll leave that topic for another day. We gotta wrap this up. Final thoughts, real quick.
I'm gonna give you my final thoughts real quick. They need to change the criteria for the top 75 list. I don't know who I got to talk to, but they didn't change the criteria for this top 75 list because nobody knows what the criteria is to be on this list. All right, sure.
So my final thought is Dwight should be on this list. If anybody got snubbed, I think it was Dwight Howard. And I mean, everybody's debatable, I think, but when we're talking about Dame's career is still going on, right? So is Anthony Davis, and we know that Dwight Howard is a pinky toe.
Dwight still playing out here.
Dwight is still playing.
Dwight still playing. We playing more Anthony Davis.
Boy, let me get my thought out, man. Overall, just Orlando, Dwight should be on this list. How about that?
I don't disagree with that at all, man.
Dwight. Before Bill says his thing, Dwight or Ben Wallace?
Dwight,
yeah.
Yeah. My final thought on it is simply the next 25, we're gonna be right here and we can be doing the same thing. Because guess what? Those old heads, they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
they're not going nowhere. They're not going nowhere.
They're in a union.
They're not going nowhere. So get yourselves together.
And shout out to the old heads that should be on there that's not.
And listen,
shout out to Dominique Wilkins for making the list. He should have been on the 50.
Yeah.
He should have been on the first list.
Definitely.
50th anniversary list. But shout out to Dominique, man. I'm happy he finally getting his recognition, man.
And see, he's one that didn't win.
Bro.
Why? Come on.
Bro, again. He made deep runs in the playoffs, bro. Now you can say, hey, we can go over the top. We can make arguments about people getting hurt.
No.
Matt got hurt.
I agree.
Man, he was just running into better teams, man. There's nothing you can do when you had to play the Celtics and the Pistons all the time. But he wasn't losing to him in the first round. He wasn't losing to him in the first round.
Matt wasn't losing. Listen,
Mac was losing
On
in
our
the
next
first
show,
round, bro.
we're gonna bring up the teams that Mac was losing to in the first round on our next show because you ain't gonna keep saying my man. You ain't gonna keep saying my man was getting knocked out in the first round and not say who he was getting beat by.
Man, he had to break through at least once, bro.